Hey peeps, it's Rina and welcome to my anxiety-filled life. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for joining and coming back for another video. If you are not subscribed and you're new to my channel, welcome. And you can join us by, just hitting that subscribe button. It doesn't take much effort. Just click that little button. That would be appreciated. We are very close to hitting our next goal of 500 subscribers strong, which is insane. I feel like we got here pretty quickly and I'm loving the support, so thank you so much. As I've said in my previous video, once we reach 500 subscribers, I'll be doing a Q&A where you get to ask me questions so that you guys can get to know me better. Ask questions about the channel if you want, about my life, whatever you want. Today I want to introduce you all to the 4 books that pretty much got me started on personal finance, learning about it, as well as starting my debt-free financial freedom journey. So let's get into today's video. So in my previous videos, I've told you all about my personal financial freedom journey, but one thing I didn't mention is that one of the resources that I've used is books. Some of them I bought online on Amazon, some of them I bought in Target. Yes, Target for my cultured people. And the rest of them I bought at a local bookstore. It's called the LitBar. If you're in New York City, it's in the Bronx. Yes, the Bronx. Please do not come for me. Please. We don't want to do this. I am from Brooklyn, but I live in the Bronx, so let it go. Anywho, if you are ever in the area, stop by the LitBar. It is a Black woman-owned business. They have books and they have a little mini bar, so it's a really nice vibe in there. Just check it out and I'll leave the info in the description box below. So back to the books. Out of all the books that I've owned, I have 4 that I think would be great gifts to give high school grads as well as college grads. All of these books have taught me a lot about personal finance, paying off my student loans, insurance, retirement, and so much more. I think this is the type of information that needs to be passed on to high schoolers as well as college students, because you don't want them to wait until they're adults to start learning this information. Pretty much like how I did. And even though these will be good gifts, don't be that family member that just gives them this book as a gift and that's it. It should be in addition to the gift that you're giving them. Don't be that family member. Don't do it. The first book I want to mention is Why Didn't They Teach Me This in School? 99 Personal Money Management Principles to Live by Carl Siegel. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. Siegel. Who knows? This author lays out everything from personal finance to student loans to housing to taxes and everything under the sun. And it's all based on his personal experiences, basically. He organizes this info by turning all of these 99 principles into like mini chapters, basically. It's a lot of information, but he gets straight to the point, and the little fluff that he adds is basically just tidbits of his personal experience. I think like the personal touch kind of gives it an uncle that's looking out for you and want to make sure that you're not making the same mistakes that he made kind of vibe. So that's what I love about this book. He actually dedicated this book to his children, so it kind of just shows you that not all generational wealth has to be monetary. It could just be wealth of knowledge that will, essentially make your life better. So my next favorite is Personal Finance for Dummies by Tyson. So I purchased this 8th edition years ago, I want to say. You can purchase this on Amazon. I think they're up to the 9th or 10th edition. I can't remember. Just think of this book as a personal finance roadmap that's in the form of a textbook, basically. The author is an MBA, so he goes a little bit more in depth about the topics that are mentioned in the first book. So there's like more examples, more graphs, more charts, and there's more resources. I would say this book is more geared towards college students and up, but it's not too, early to give it to high schoolers, I would say. The reason I say that is because high schoolers don't necessarily go straight to college. Some go straight into the workforce, so I find it better to, give them this information ahead of time so that they are, learning about personal finances and adulting before they actually get thrown into adulthood. Tyson also has some other highly reviewed books that he's written, so you can just check them out on Amazon. This next book is Get a Financial Life, Personal Finance in Your 20s and 30s by Beth Kobliner. Kobliner? I think that's right. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering her name. But it says it's a New York Times bestseller. I recently just got this book, so I haven't finished it yet. But based on this information, if you're struggling to adult in your 20s and 30s, this book is for you. I promise this will make your quarter-life crisis or even midlife crisis just a little bit easier. This book promises to help you pay off credit card debt, pay off some student loans, get the most out of your health insurance. They're talking about retirement plans, stocks. So pretty much the same topics that were covered in the first two books that I mentioned, but it's a little bit different in terms of formatting. One of the best things I like about this book is that at the end of each like section or chapter, she adds a like too long didn't read type of section so that it gives you like fast facts about what was discussed in the chapter, and then resources as well, so that, you know, if you're in a rush to figure something out really quickly, you don't have to read the entire chapter. You can just get, you know, kind of like the cliff notes, the tidbits, so you can, you know, just soak up that information really quickly. Also, something that this book has that the other two doesn't have is that it discusses military benefits and how to get the most out of your military benefits. So if you are in the military, I suggest this book. This last book is one of my favorites. If you have watched my previous videos, you know that I've mentioned this many
15 minutes later.
Many times. I'm just a teensy bit obsessed. Just a teensy bit. Because I have student loans and it helped me like start like my student loan payment journey. So just a little bit obsessed. I would say that this book is not really geared towards high schoolers, but I think college students would definitely get a benefit from this book, especially if they have student loans, like me. But if you do want to give it to your high schoolers, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing going to hurt them in learning early about Dave Ramsey's baby steps. It's a very popular system that you might see on the internet all over the place. So I really love this book. So this book is mostly about, you know, aggressively paying off debt, especially like credit card debt, housing debt, or student loan debt. And I only have one gripe with this book. Like, it is one of my favorites, but it's not perfect. The one thing I don't like about this book is that it pretty much deems all debt as bad debt, and that's something I don't agree with. I think that there's good debt and bad debt. When I say this, I mean that it's not bad to have a credit card. It's bad if you're misusing your credit card and you're spending more than you make. It's not bad to have a mortgage on a house if you don't have the money or the down payment, you know, to pay for that in cash. It's only if you're getting a house that you might not afford, you know, that makes more sense to me. As well as student loans. Student loans aren't bad necessarily. I would say the predatory lending practices of some of these loan servicers are bad. But if you are getting a degree with your student loan that has a high return on investment, then it's not bad. It's only bad if you're getting, I don't know, a degree that won't make you a lot of money and you're paying a bunch of debt back for a degree that you're probably not going to use, or that's not going to make you any money. So that's the only thing I have to say about this book. Like, with good debt, you can leverage that debt for, you know, good benefits. So like for credit cards, you can leverage it so that, you know, if you're not living above your means and you're paying off your credit card every month, then it's good because you can get some points back for like free travel, free meals, and that type of stuff. Or for real estate, if you're investing in real estate with debt and you get a huge return on investment, it's not really bad debt, like if you're making money off of it. So the thing is, not everybody has huge piles of cash. He's very heavy on, you know, saving up, living like nobody else, which means like, you know, try not to be flashy and stuff like that. Try not to go on trips all the time, you know. Try to reserve that money earlier now so that you have more money later. And that totally makes sense. But not everyone is born into a well-off family. Not everyone has, you know, can be gifted piles of cash for a down payment on a house or a car or something like that. So not everyone's fortunate to have those type of opportunities, especially when rent is very high, and then sometimes your paycheck doesn't cover all of your housing or your bills or even childcare. So that's all I have to say about that. But besides my little rant there, I love this book. It's a great book, so definitely get this book for your college graduates and if you want your high schoolers. If you made it here to the end, thank you so much for kicking it with me. I just want to share, you know, those 4 books with you guys so that you can kind of help your high school grads and college grads before they make it into the real world, because the real world is not what I thought it would be. I mean, nobody really told us it would be this hard. Like, there was no warning. But if your parents give you a warning, my parents did give me a warning. I think I just didn't listen well. That's what it was. I was like, it'll be your fine. I'm learning the hard way. Let me know if you have any thoughts or questions about these books or anything like that. Let me know if you've read these books and what your thoughts on them, or, you know, are you against what I said? Are you for what I'm said? I want to know your opinions. I chose these books because they heavily focus on the importance of building and applying personal finance management skills, as well as paying down debt as aggressively as possible so that, you know, you have more money in the future, as well as building generational wealth, or just wealth for yourself in general, so that, you know, you don't have to wait until you're much older to be living your life. You can start living a little earlier. But yeah, I cannot wait to do that Q&A, so help me please get to 500 subscribers. I will see you in the next video, which will probably be Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. As usual, spend wisely, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.
Young, broken, independent, not broken, not quitting, I'ma get it. Even though I still struggle, I'm sufficient. Like what's up, aiming, how it's business. Believe me, it's finna happen. They call them detours, we call it passion. How many no's you receive? I just stopped counting. So why you still doing this shit? I'ma cash in the fountain. See this dream dance between my ear canal, lives inside my heart like a future child. Possess the wisdom in between my smile. The world gotta see me, it may take a while. That's okay, it's prepared for. Played a lot of shows I had to pay for. Define the crowd, me, myself, and I, and the DJ and my homeboys. Good things take some time, I'm like, ooh yeah. Patience is a virtue when I'm moving. Looking at my life, it's a movie. Lot of ups and downs, I'm sticking to it. I got the sauce, I got the drip. I make the play, I get the assist. Impossible, it exists. The slow grind made a better trip.